animated Anarchy series presents the animated Hour of Power.
All right, what's up, everybody? It is Saturday night. We are here. It is the day before Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there that happen to be listening. This is episode 37 of the animated Hour of Power here on the One Tunes Combined.
Sorry.
All right. What she said, because I said all the mothers out there, she figured she had to chime in. All right, so this is episode 37 of Animated Hour of Power here on the One Tunes Combined YouTube channel as part of the Animated Anarchy series. I am, of course, your host, Dutchie, joined as always by Money E.
What's up?
All right, Sean is with us.
My wife brought me tacos.
That's a good woman.
Aw.
Taco Bell or Mighty Taco?
She made her own birria tacos.
Ooh.
Like we went out and we got all the stuff to make the sauce. 2 fresh fucking chuck roasts from the meat guy.
Very good. Very good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. And of course, Wildcard Dave is with us as well.
The one and only.
Leftover king.
So
Hey, when you make enough, you get leftovers, but
ain't that the
jelly.
truth?
Don't be jelly.
I always like to make sure that there's leftovers so I don't have to make sandwiches at night for
lunch tomorrow, right?
Exactly.
Yes, dude.
So
that's
I
what
try
I'm
to make sure that there is leftovers, but unfortunately, because I'm fat, like there's usually not leftovers.
saying. He said, "No, that was too good. I'm gonna have to get a second plate."
Exactly. But then, like, if I happen to be like really lazy and it's like, oh, I don't want to make sandwiches, then I can hold off and be like, you know what, I'm good. Like my belly can go 10 hours without eating.
I feel it. There's certain things where I'm like, I make a lot of just because I know I want some of this tomorrow type deal for sure.
Yeah. So, all right. So this is not. This episode is not about leftovers, although
Cooking.
or cooking. This is not the Rachel Ray show. Is that even still a thing?
No.
I
No.
don't know, but I know
she hasn't been a thing for a while.
Okay.
When
Anyway,
you start getting old and gross. They're like, yeah.
then you take it. Then they take away your TV time slot
Yep.
and give it to Kelly Clarkson. All right. Anyway,
Damn. That sucks.
That was a real shot.
well, she's got a talk show.
He ain't lying. Though.
I know.
He ain't lying.
Yeah, and you know she is a very nice looking woman.
Yeah, she is.
Although her show got canceled too. Anyway,
Damn.
but anyway, enough about that. Enough before the lawyers and syndication sales come after us, or me anyway. But on tonight's episode of Animated Hour of Power, it is very anime heavy. Because Dave took over my brain when I was making the matches here. So,
Yes.
I don't know how. I'm just surprised he survived being in my head. The squirrels juggling knives in there.
Hey, it was a dark place.
Tell me about it. I haven't changed a light bulb in there in years.
I know. I tried to change it, but I couldn't find the ladder.
Yeah. Who actually liked this video? All right. Anyway, Naruto Next Generations is going to take on Sword Art Online, ALICI ZATTON. We've got Cowboy Bebop taking on Dragon Raja. Black Lagoon's taking on Dr. Stone. And the main event is going to be the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack taking on Total Drama Island. If you've never seen the show before, 5 categories are going to be picked via the randomizer. And what is going to happen is these guys are going to judge. If a show wins 3-0, 30 points. 3-1 is 20 points. 3-2 is 10, and 5 for the loser. If you are swept, you lose 10 points. Now, I believe it is Eric and
Me.
Isn't it all three of us?
no,
Or did
one of
somebody-
them. No, it's Eric and Dave, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sean used his last time.
Right.
Uh,
That was a week ago. Well, I mean, a week ago when we recorded it. I mean, like 10 seconds ago, I forgot what show we were doing. But so
Yeah, we thought we were doing the cooking. Stream.
exactly. I thought I was actually on the Rachel Ray show. All right, so Eric and Dave have their powers, and what that basically entails is if they see a category picked by the randomizer that they do not like, they could step in and say, "Hey, I want this category instead of this one," and they have to have a second. Somebody has to second it, and then that will be replaced. So, share the screen here. All right, can everybody see the screen?
Yep.
Yep.
All right,
Let's see.
we're going to give it one click. And all right. So right now it's humor, cultural impact, originality, theme song, fan base.
I want to use my power.
Well, I was going to go to you first anyway.
I want to
I
take
know
out
he's gonna
humor.
change.
I want to take out humor,
No,
and I want to put
that's
in
what I was gonna change.
animation.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, Sean, by saying okay, you just seconded it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I third it because I was gonna change humor too.
All right. So animation
I was gonna
style is
change
in
overall
first.
enjoyment.
Now, I gotta say, just from watching some of these, that was the right. I definitely think that was the right call, Dave.
Yeah. Well,
Look.
it's just like with anime, like if it's not like a humor anime, there's not going to be a ton of humor in it besides like certain little like quirky characters, but like even then it's not like over the top.
Yeah.
So just with the shows we have going on, there's just not a lot of humor in a lot of these shows.
Yeah. And
Thank
by
you,
the
Dave.
way, in the main event, which is two cartoons going at it, I don't even like humor would be difficult because, in my opinion, both shows are more stupid than funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%. I agree.
Thank you, Dave. Because I had a hard time. Humor was the hardest one I had this week. So thank you.
Yep. Yep. I had to take that category out. It had to go.
Wow. This
Well,
is
I'm
one of
hard
those, and
seeing-
nobody had to think about it either. They're just like, yeah, do it.
Yeah. I was quick about it too, boy. I said, I want to use it. Get that out of here.
I didn't even complete the sentence.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I was,
Honestly, I was going to say as soon as you hit the randomizer, and I seen humor first. I was like, I want to use it. Let me use it. Let me
yeah,
add it.
before I could even start the sentence, you're like, I'm using it. It's okay.
And
Sorry,
anime
Eric.
style happens to be your favorite too, Dave.
Yeah, and there's a lot of animes in here, and I feel like, animes, like, not all of them are about animation, but I feel like animation helps a lot of animes.
Yeah.
So
And I think
I
there's
like-
a lot of close ones.
some of them lack animation for more story building and stuff like that. Kind of like Inuyasha, for example.
Yeah.
Stuff like
All
that.
right. So let's go ahead. Let's get this party started here. We got BORUTO, Naruto Next Generations taking on Sword Art Online, ALICI ZATTON. BORUTO, Naruto Next Generations, 1-1, 25 points in the division of Kevin Johnston. With a 20-point win, they're going to tie Legend of Tarzan for the division lead. With a 30-point sweep, they can take the division lead. Sword Art Online, ALICI ZATTON, 2-0, 40 points in the division of Sharon Wander. It's in the lead right now. So all they're going to do is just increase their division lead. And I will say that these two people do know each other. As a matter of fact, Kevin is dating Sharon's niece, or they're well, excuse me, they're engaged. Every time I say they're just dating, I get yelled at. So, but that's as far as I'm going to take this story because I could say stuff that could really get me in trouble. It'll be funny, but I'll get in trouble. All right, so we are going to start with animation style. Dave, you made the switch, and this is your genre. You are the king of anime. Unless I bring it up in front of somebody else that happens to like anime, then they call themselves the king of anime. But
yeah, that's fine.
But they don't do the show, so
why
but
would
they
you?
don't do this show, so that's why I refer to you.
No, that's fine. They could be a king because I'm a god.
All right.
Oh,
all
boy.
right. All right, your lordship. Who
Sounds
are you
like a
picking for
straight rip-off
animation
from
style?
Eminem.
Yeah, I know it was a ripoff from M, for sure. But this one was pretty difficult because they both have great animations. But there's one thing that I really seen that stuck out to me on this one, and so for that reason, I'm going SAO, Sword Art Online. Alicia Zatin. I'm doing that because it's more consistent animation. Boruto, it has like very high highs in animation, but it's mostly like, on those like action episodes, like, where they're really trying to get the viewer tuned in to what's going on into the show. But besides that, like, there's a lot of inconsistency in through the quality week to week basis. And so for that reason, the consistency, I go to SAO.
All right. Sean, why don't you go next?
Yeah, I also went with Sword Art Online.
All right.
I thought the animations were a lot more fluent, a lot cleaner, a little more detailed than BORUTO was.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
And all right. Well, Eric, speak
Yep,
those words
I'm
anyway.
agreeing with you guys. Very more detailed and yeah.
All right. So, Sword Art Online, Alicia Zatin is up 1-0. 2 more, and then they can sweep and even further increase that division lead that they have, or that they have in Sharon Wander's division. Cultural impact. Sean, start us off, please.
I gave this one to BORUTO Naruto. I think all the hype surrounding Naruto just kind of solidified me picking them over Sword Art Online for impact.
Yeah.
All right. Dave, why don't you go next?
I'm actually going the other way, just because SAO, Alicia Zatin, it's a high point that strengthened the franchise's legacy, I believe, whereas Boruto, it's more of like a mixed reaction. It has mixed impact. It's controversial. Like a lot of like Naruto fans don't like Boruto. Yeah, there's a lot.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I don't like about it. So like I don't watch it like I did Naruto. It's just not the same. So just because it's has that mixed review from its fan base, I think SAO takes this one.
Okay. All right, Eric, you're the tiebreaker here.
I'm agreeing with Sean. From what I read, it led me to that. So.
Okay. I mean, yes, because it's part of the Naruto franchise, but I have heard the same things. As a matter of fact, the person who has this in their division was not happy about it because they think that this is the worst part of the Naruto franchise.
Yep.
Now
I would agree with that person.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree with them too, but it's also this was determined by a wheel that we had spun. I didn't do it. So he yells at me, I stick my tongue out at him. Because I'm just so mature. But all right, so we're up 1-1 here. No sweep is happening, but we move on to the next category, which is originality. Eric, who had the more original concept?
Originality. I went with, from what I read, this was a close one, but I went with Naoto. not necessarily Naruto. I don't know.
Boruto.
All
Thank you.
right, Dave.
This one's kind of tough for me, but I just feel like Boruto kind of struggles for its like original identity. Um, so it's like it's constantly like mimicking like the structure of the original Naruto series. Um, it's kind of like a lot of scenarios feel copy and pasted, which I understand. Like you're trying to bring some memorabilia or nostalgia to the series, but I just feel like it's a little too much, and they don't have like enough originality to their concepts. I just feel like Sword Art Online, it's like it moves away from the trapped in a game and focuses more like a simulated world with like it's a little different. It's like the AI world is having like consciousness and a soul type deal. So it's like adapting. It's not mimicking the same patterns. It's creating its own story in the next franchise, the series for the franchise. So I went with Sword Art Online right here.
Okay. All right, Sean, you're doing your specialty.
Yeah, no, we're good. I went with sorry, Sword Art Online.
Okay.
I think it's just I don't know, they didn't really have to base their show off of anything but their own style, and like Naruto like kind of was in the same realm as Naruto, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Naruto.
I don't think there's much originality when I say it all the time with like the comic books that we review for cartoons and stuff too. It's
Yeah,
not
when
hard to
something,
base it off
yeah,
of something
we
that's
talk about that
already
with
written.
the superheroes all the time.
Yeah. So
I
that's how
think the
feel.
only superhero show that we've done that has really like won originality, I think, has been Static Shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
All right. So Sword Art Online, Alicia Zetton is up 2-1. One more and they can get a 20-point win. We move on to theme song. And Sean, go ahead and start us off.
Yeah, I'm sticking to Sword Art Online. I thought their theme song was pretty cool. Got me hyped. I based it off of the hype.
That's usually how I would base it off.
Well, I just think it matches the show pretty well.
Yeah.
Naruto isn't awful, but it doesn't do it for me.
Right. All right, Dave.
I'm actually agreeing with Sean here. I'm going Sword Art Online. Alicia's
good.
at.
Feels good.
It's just I feel like it's a banger. When I'm listening to it, like you said, it fits the show perfectly. So
All right, Eric.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with these guys. This was a close one, but I went with Sword.
All right, Sword Art Online. Alicia Zetton is going to take a 3-1 win here. They're going to get 20 points. So they are going to increase their division lead. BORUTO gets no points out of this, but they don't lose any points, and they cannot jump to a division lead or a division tie. But Sword Art Online, Alicia Zetton is currently in the lead in Sharon Wander's division, and it is going to stay that way at least up until the next stage. We move on now to Cowboy Bebop versus Dragon Raja. Cowboy Bebop is in the division of Daniel Hummer, and it is 1-1, 25 points. If they're able to sweep here, then they're going to take the division lead from the Transformers. And Dragon Raja is in the division of Joe Arbisek, Dave's uncle. So we got my brother going up against Dave's uncle.
okay.
But they are 0-2, negative 10 points. They cannot catch up for a division lead here, but they can try to get themselves out of the negative. So We start with animation style. Eric, who had the better animation style?
This was close because I think both of them were good, but I went with Cowboy.
Okay.
I thought it was more just a little bit more detailed.
All right, Dave.
Oh, yeah, this one is tough because Dragon Raja is more modern and flashy. It uses a little bit of CGI and, 3D CGI animations. But I think I'm going with Cowboy Bebop for its animation quality. I think it's a little more unique detail. It's more polished, even though it's, comes from before Dragon Raja. So, like, Dragon Raja is more modern. I just feel like, the artistic detail really fits the show and theme, the atmosphere perfectly. So I went with Cowboy Bebop.
All right, Sean.
I actually went with Dragon Raja. I thought their style was a little cooler than Cowboy Bebop was.
All right. And I almost actually went second with you, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just so used to I'm just so used to Dave usually going second. So, all right, we're going to move on to cultural impact. And Sean, this time you're actually going to go first.
Oof. I gave this one, from everything that I saw, to Cowboy Bebop. I think it just had a little more widespread exposure. I think what did I have written down? God dang it, I lost the piece of paper.
I hate it when that happens. I hate it when I lose a piece of paper while we're on air, and I hate it when my pen runs out when we're on air.
Yeah, okay, no, I got it. I just had to turn the page. Cowboy Bebop, I gave it to them because from everything I read, just they had a more successful run and like a bigger following than Dragon Raja.
Okay.
Yep.
All
I
right.
could be wrong.
Well, Dave, is he?
No, I think he's right. I think Cowboy Bebop definitely had a higher and more successful global impact. I think it's also a gateway for the anime in the West. It's mainstream Western audience in the early 2000s. It did have a run on Cartoon Network's Adult Swim too.
I was just gonna say, I remember it. I didn't know it was an anime because I would always remember seeing Cowboy Bebop on Adult Swim. I had no idea it was an anime until you had said something.
Yeah, yep. So I just feel like, it had that good Western influence, especially early on. It's had more time to create more of a legacy and more of an impact. So I'm definitely going Cowboy here.
All right, Eric.
Yep, I'm agreeing with these guys. From what I read and researched, it led me to Cowboy.
All right. So Cowboy Bebop is up 2-0. One more, and then they can sweep. So they're almost towards a division lead here. Originality. Dave, who had the more original concept?
Yeah, I'm going with Cowboy Bebop. I think they sweep it here. I just think it's unparalleled. It's a little innovative. It's unique style for its animation and stuff like that. It's definitely different. And it brings that, that Wild West, like Westerns, jazz, film noir, science fiction kind of blend. It's a very unique atmosphere. And I just think for its time, it was definitely unique and different.
All right. Sean, how about you?
Yeah, I gave it to Cowboy Bebop too. I think Dave kind of hit it right on the head.
Yeah, Eric, if you want to go next, you got to raise your hand before the words start coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, I
Upgrade your Wi-Fi.
Oh, 5 score. Okay.
Yeah. See what I mean? Upgrade your Wi-Fi. All right, go ahead.
Language.
Yeah, I went the opposite, even though it doesn't matter. So
Wi-Fi's not a swear word, Dave.
No, he said the SHIT word.
Oh,
I heard it,
sorry.
Eric. Yeah. See, he knew he said it. Mhm. Child friendly. Child friendly.
Sometimes I
Fine.
forget that though too.
Hey, don't worry. I've done it as well.
All right.
Done it
So
as well.
Cowboy Bebop is going to win this thing 3-0. They're going to get 30 points. So they take it. They take the division lead back from the Transformers, at least for
Ooh.
right now, until we get to the next stage. And Dragon Raj is going to lose another 10 points. Now we move
I
on
didn't think
to
it
now we move on to an anime battle that I got to tell you, and I trust me, I know nothing about really about anime except for I know what it is. But even like just watching these two shows and hearing what I've heard about both of these shows, this one is going to be tough. We got Black Lagoon taking on Dr. Stone. Black Lagoon in the division of Clintus Williams III. They are 1-1 with 30 points, I believe. I'm looking at 1-1, 30 points. With a sweep here, they can tie She-Ra, Princess of Power, for the top spot in the division. Dr. Stone is 0-2, but they have 10 points. They cannot catch Avatar: The Last Airbender right now for a division lead, but they can cut it. Well, not close, but they can get up there. All right. First category is animation style. And Sean, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Yeah, sorry, I gave this one to Dr. Stone. I thought they had a lot smoother transitions in their episodes than Black Lagoon.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Eric.
I went with Black Lagoon. I thought that was more detailed, so.
Well, this is kind of appropriate. It's your favorite category and it's your genre.
Yep, it is. It is. Yeah. So I'm going with the one that had more of like a intense animation, more fluid gun combat. It was very character focused. It also brought like that 2000s grittiness to it, that early 2000s grittiness. It was pretty cinematic. I felt Dr. Stone. I felt like it was, stunning static scenes. It like they were trying to like mimic or replicate the manga's art style. So I went with Black Lagoon here. I just think because it had fluid motion, and Dr. Stone was more of like static scenes. So like the motion was very limited throughout their series. It was more, detailed static scenes. Like I said, mimicking kind of like manga style. So that's why I went with Black Lagoon.
All right. So Black Lagoon is up 1-0. Two more, and then they can sweep it. Cultural impact is next. Dave, who had the bigger cultural impact between the two?
I think I'm gonna go with Dr. Stone here. I just think it's more relevant. I think it has more of an educational influence, with like science, history, teaches real world principles. It has a positive message that it gets across as well. I think it has pretty good mainstream appeal and it's got a broad audience. Black Lagoon, I just feel like it has that cool factor, but it's not like, huge. Not a lot of people know about Black Lagoon. So I think Dr. Stone has a little bit more of a global reach.
All right. Go ahead, Eric.
Well, I went with Black Lagoon. From what I read, it led me to that. So
All right. Sean, you're breaking a tie here.
I went with Dr. Stone. Everything I found had like a more expanded reach than Black Lagoon did. Like Dave said, not a lot of people know what Black Lagoon is.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was until like we had to start watching it for the show.
Same.
Same.
So all right, 1-1. So no sweep is happening. Originality. Eric, who had more originality?
I went with Dr. Stone from what I read. It just, I think it was close, but I think Dr. Stone. So.
All right, Dave.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Eric here. I think Dr. Stone takes this. I think they had a very unique premise. They're trying to rebuild civilization from scratch using like real science after humanity was turned to stone. I think that's very different than your typical anime. Black Lagoon is like it's got really good like character development and stuff, but it's like criminal underworld type stuff. So like we've seen a lot of that, even through cartoons and stuff like that. You see a lot of that. Like Batman has criminal underworld type stuff.
Yeah.
So it's less about creating a new concept and being more, flashy and dramatic. So I want Dr. Stone.
All right, Sean.
Yeah, I also went Dr. Stone. So sweep it.
All right.
Just from
Dr.
like
Stone
the
is up. Or go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry.
my reasoning is just for the whole premise of the show, from the characters to the story, were just done outstandingly, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it's basically, I mean, it's one of the more original concepts because sometimes animes can like kind of blend together, but there's not a lot of anime out there where like where everybody's turned into stone and you have to rebuild civilization by trying to
Right.
unstone them.
Yeah.
All right, they are up 2-1. They can get the 20-point win with this next category. It is theme song. Sean, who had the better theme song?
I picked Dr. Stone. I thought that one was just done slightly better than Black Lagoon.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. Well, Eric had his hand up first, Dave. So
Go ahead.
we'll let you break the tie.
Well, I'm going Black Lagoon. I just preferred. I thought that was a little better. I like both, but I just went with Black Lagoon.
All right, Dave.
Yeah, if you want to feel like a badass in like a 90s action movie type feel, I think that's what Black Lagoon gives you for its theme song. Nothing against Dr. Stone. I thought it was really good. It had that pump up feeling. It's pumped up and optimistic about science kind of feel, but I like feeling badass. Like I'm going in there and I'm about to be the main character type feeling. So I went with Black Lagoon.
All right. So 2-2. We're gonna go to the fifth category. I had a feeling this was gonna happen. By the way, Dr. Stone's points have come from have come from 3-2 losses. So they're building up their points by losing close ones. It's like what the Colorado Avalanche did this year by losing the most games in overtime. All right. Fan base is the last category. Dave, start us off.
Oh man, this one's tough. Kind of hard because like Dr. Stone, it has more of like I feel like a global fan base or whatnot. But I feel like Black Lagoon has more dedicated, loyal fan base. It's more intense fan base. It's more of a mature fan base, that like values high octane, rated R type action and dark comedy and stuff. So I think I'm gonna go with the loyalness here instead of, how big the fan base is. I'm gonna go with the dedication of a fan base. I'm gonna go Black Lagoon here.
All right. Sean, go ahead.
I just want Eric to break a tie, so I'm going with Dr. Stone. I thought both shows were equally as good as, with their fan bases, but like Dave said, Black Lagoon definitely has the more devoted or loyal fans than Dr. Stone, but I'm going with Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone's just more mainstream.
All right, Eric. I mean, when I look at you, I think anime.
And I want a detailed explanation on why you're picking who you're picking.
Now we're just asking way too much.
Yeah, it has to be more than one sentence.
And it can't be, I agree with so-and-so.
I went with Black Lagoon because what I read, it had a big quote following, so I went with that.
All right. Black Lagoon is going to win it 3-2. And Dr. Stone loses another close one. They're building their points by losing it by losing 3-2. That's where all their points have come from.
They're getting the fives.
Like, I swear, it's what the Colorado Avalanche did this year. I mean, they are a good team and they're absolutely bulldozing their way to the playoffs. But like at one point, like they didn't have a lot of regulation losses because they were losing all their games in overtime. And that's how they were building their points.
That's how Vegas got in too.
Well, they were more closer towards the bottom, so I wasn't.
They might be able to sneak their way up there. You never know. All they do is need, one or two big wins, and
and the gauntlet can provide that. By the way,
for sure.
So that could happen, but this is this is amazing that like they're technically like they have as good a chance to catch up in their division as any because they're losing, but they're getting points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is one of those that like, and by the way, Dr. Stone is a good show too.
Yeah, it is. I thought Eric was actually going to pick it there just because it was more mainstream and has more of like a global audience.
Yeah. But all right, so Black Lagoon's going to get 10 points out of this, so they're not going to tie She-Ra for the division lead. But we are going to move on now to the main event, which is the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack versus Total Drama Island. The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack is in the division of Lisa Skelly, who is my aunt. 2-0, 50 points. They already have the division lead. They can just extend it even further with any kind of points. And then Total Drama Island is 1-1, 20 points. In the division of Kaylee Fox, by the way, one of the most appropriate titles in her division, Total Drama Island. But that's neither here nor there.
Got him.
But I'm just saying. I mean, Sean, you've been Sean. I don't know if you've been around her enough to know, but I know that you've been around her because you have hung out at my mom's house before.
Oh, I know.
So, but anyway, I digress before I get another person on the list to kick me in the nuts.
Murdered.
Did you say or murdered?
Yeah.
Well,
either or.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, moving on. We start with animation style, and Sean, I'm going to let you start.
I gave this one to Total Drama Island because I was not a fan of the Flapjack animation at all. I don't really care for that type of animation. It threw me off. I mean, it's clean and it's not like distorted, but it's just weird. It's on that cringe level of it's not cringy, but it's cringy.
That actually would have been, if I would have ended up judging tonight, that would have actually been my explanation too. Because I feel the exact same way. But Dave, you're up.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with Sean. I just like I don't think either of them excelled in animation. But I think Total Drama Island is just a little better. A little better.
Okay. All right, Eric.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. Total drama.
All right, Total Drama Island is up 1-0. 2 more, and then they can sweep it. Cultural Impact is up next. Dave.
I think I'm gonna go Total Drama Island. I just feel like it was larger for had a larger audience back in the day. I do feel like it still gets some plays nowadays. It has a highly active fandom. I just feel like Flapjack, it was here and then it was gone. It was a stepping stone show for whatever series it came out on. Or whatever station channel it came out on.
I think it was Cartoon Network.
Okay, yeah, they were. I just feel like they were more of like a stepping stone for them. I feel like Total Drama had a lot more popularity, so it had more of an impact.
Yeah, and plus the fact that it was loosely based on Survivor.
Yeah, that's huge because like I watched Survivor growing up, and like my brothers and siblings and a lot of friends, so a lot of us tuned in on Total Drama because it was kind of similar. They did kind of stupid stuff on there, but it was kind of like back then it was funny, but now watching it, it's not as funny.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it now, but back in the day, I was.
Yeah. All right, Eric.
Yeah, I went with total drama too. I don't think there's any real impact that Flapjack made.
Okay. Sean.
Yeah, I went with Total Drama.
All right. So 2-0, 1 more, and then they can sweep it. Originality. Sean, who had the more original concept?
It is.
Sean, you dead?
He got stabbed.
Oh crap. He just lost power. All right. Sean, I'm gonna have one of them go to all right, hold on. All right, one of you guys go.
I went with total. Oh,
Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
I went with total drama.
All right, you're going Total Drama?
Yep.
All right. Dave?
Yeah, I actually went the opposite way. I went with Flapjack. Just because Total Drama Island, like you said, it's kind of like a branch off of Survivor. So it kind of mimics an idea or a concept and try to make it into its own thing. Flapjack, I just feel like its world building, its art style, its creative vision, it is just a lot more unique and a lot more original.
All right. Sean, you're up. I guess I have to type it out. All right, let's see what Sean has to say. All right, he went with Total Drama. I'm not going to ask you to type out I'm not going to ask you to type out an answer or to type out a reason.
Where would you have gone, Dutchie?
With originality?
Yeah.
This one this one was hard because it is loosely based off Survivor. Like Total Drama kind of cancels Total Drama out, but with Flapjack having the pirate theme, it kind of reminds me of like it's more of a ripoff of like a Pirates of Dark Water.
Yeah, I didn't really think of that. Now that you put it in that perspective.
So I think,
but but it not just the pirate theme, just like its world building and art style was a lot different than the normal cartoons of that time frame. So that's another reason why I gave it. It was a little unique for using that, weird animation style and whatnot. Even though I didn't like it.
Right.
I did not like it.
All right. So Total Drama is going to win this thing 3-0. They're going to get 30 points out of this. Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack is going to lose 10 points. But so now we move on, and we're just a couple weeks away. Like, we got the rest of this week. So we got Animated Showdown this week, and we got all of next week left in stage 3. And then we move on to stage 4. But this upcoming Wednesday afternoon at noon Eastern time, on the When Tunes Combine YouTube channel, we are going to have Animated Showdown, and we have Neo Angelique taking on Hell's Paradise, Ishura taking on Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy, Kaiju number 8 takes on Sekirei, Cops takes on Brave Star, and the main event is going to be the Codename Kids Next Door taking on Pinky and the Brain.
Wednesday's a good show.
Yeah. So next Saturday for our Animated Hour of Power, we are going to have the New Gate taking on Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Rip. R.I.P. to New Gate.
Neon Genesis Evangelion takes on Promised Neverland. Cow and Chicken is going to take on the Mummy animated series, and the main event is going to be Courage the Cowardly Dog versus American Dragon Jake Long.
Ooh.
So, all right. Make sure to like and subscribe to the When Tunes Combine YouTube channel. Join the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/When Tunes Combine. Make sure to also like and subscribe to the Wrestling Through the Years YouTube channel. This Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be talking about the old XWF from 2001 that was supposed to be the replacement WCW. We're going to talk about the first 3 episodes, only 3 episodes to ever air. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to Eric's Unscripted Sports Show. You're going to find him on Twitch at TCAX Money E, on TikTok at Money E 6-Pack Picks. You're going to find Wildcard Dave on Twitch at TCX Godsend 95. You're going to find Sean on TikTok and Twitch at TCAX Reaper. I don't know if he's going to be on Wednesday's show. We got to figure out, like, if he doesn't get his power back, we're going to have to kind of come up with a game plan here.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to, because I'm not far from him, and this weather just turned crazy. Like, it was sunny and nice, and now it's thunderstorming and the wind's going bizarre.
They were calling for that for here.
Now it's sunny here.
Yeah, like they've been calling for like thunderstorms all day for here, and it was supposed to be high winds or damaging winds, hail, and I think it rained for it thunderstormed earlier.
Yeah, it was pretty cloudy earlier this morning.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be getting his power back. If it does, it's probably going to be it's going to be in and out. Yeah, he even typed it in.
He even just said it. So Sean, just figure something out. We'll figure something out. Either just like send. Now, Eric, if he's like, he can technically still like get in.
He can go on the YouTube. I mean,
dude. Reaper or Sean. It just came out of nowhere. Like, it was just sunny outside like a couple minutes ago, bro. And it's like tornado winds. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So. But we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out in a minute. But you can find Sean on Twitch and TikTok at TCAX Reaper. Also, like and subscribe to the Dizzle 97 YouTube channel and Twitch, the Stabcast YouTube channel with Dangle and Mindy, and we will see everybody Wednesday for Animated Showdown.
Peace.
Later.